What is up, guys? Rick is here, going over some more exotic weapon concept ideas that Bungie should definitely implement into Destiny. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because I partnered with the artist Benjamin Radiman, who is linked in the description below. You guys should definitely check him out after the video. And he does the concept art for my missing gun combinations videos. So he's doing stuff like Hawka scout rifles, Omalon shotguns, and as you can see, the concept art he makes looks like it absolutely belongs in Destiny. Now, in his spare time, he's also designing all of these exotic weapon concepts. And I actually made a part 1 of this video, and in that video I went over 4 of his concepts. You guys said that overwhelmingly you would love to see more, so that's why I'm making this part 2. And additionally, some of the ideas in this video came from the comment section of the original video. So if you guys have your idea for an awesome exotic weapon, definitely leave it in the comment section down below, because Benjamin was looking at the comment section of the last video, and that was his inspiration for making some of the guns you're seeing today. So without further ado, let's get started on these awesome exotic concepts. And the first one we're going over is an exotic sniper rifle called the Emerald Rook. This sniper rifle looks and would act like Destiny's Barrett 50 cal, an extremely high recoiling, heavy hitting weapon. Now this weapon would be of the absolute highest damage archetype, similar to that of the Black Spindle. Now the exotic perk of this weapon would make it so that it has a 5-round magazine. The first 4 shots are going to be treated pretty normally. However, if you land a precision shot with all 4 of the first shots, the last shot in the magazine, the 5th shot, is going to be doing 5 times the normal precision damage. So if you're a talented sniper able to land every single one of your shot, that last round is going to be doing as much damage as an entire magazine from this weapon. Firstly, it's going to be absolutely excellent as a PvE sniper, even competing with heavy hitters like the Black Spindle, which I already mentioned. This thing and the Black Spindle could go hand in hand, with the Black Spindle being a little bit more forgiving, but the Emerald Rook really being rewarding for talented snipers that are able to land all their shots and get a massive damage output. And frankly, the Black Spindle needs some damn competition anyways. Now this sniper in PvP, how good it is really depends on whether or not we make the perk act so that the last round, if you're able to land 4 precision shots in a row, if the last round just does 5 times damage or 5 times precision damage. Because we could make it do 5 times damage in general. So if you get 4 precision shots in a row, which is already a pretty hard thing to do in PvP, then the final shot would be an insta-kill on any enemy anywhere, which I feel like wouldn't be that overpowered. Like, it's pretty hard to get 4 precision shots in a row. If you do that, you pretty much deserve an insta-kill in my opinion. But if that does concern players, you could always just make it so it only does 5 times precision headshot damage, in which case it's just kind of going to be a normal, really cool sniper that, you know, talented snipers in PvP might want to use this just so they can put it on their montages. They get those insane damage numbers popping up on PvP for landing that 5th shot. But again, this is going to be a mainly PvE focused sniper rifle. Now let's move on to another exotic sniper rifle, the Iron Rhino. Now this ability is awesome. Like, when I heard it, I just thought it was a fantastic idea. This sniper rifle would passively spawn with explosive rounds. That's right, an explosive rounds sniper rifle. Now to compensate for this, obviously, to make it not tremendously overpowered, it would be of the lower tier damage category, so it wouldn't be able to kill off res. Now the exotic perk for this weapon, what it would do is that upon getting a precision shot with this weapon, again, the explosion is going to come off, but it's actually going to start to increase. So if you get a precision kill and then you get another one, the second time the explosion radius is going to be a little bit bigger, and the damage of the explosion, not of the base damage but only of the explosion damage, is going to be a little bit higher. Now that's going to stack up to 5 times, so if you're talented enough to get 5 precision shots in a row in PvP, for example, the 5th time, the 5th precision shot shot is going to explode off, and the damage is going to be enough that it's going to kill any nearby enemies. So you're going to be able to take out a flag with one well-placed shot. Now, firstly, if something like this is implemented, I can't wait for the GIFs and the montages of people actually being able to do that, getting 3-for-1s with this sniper. However, the actual chances of that happening are extremely low. Landing 5 precision shots in a row in PvP, that is a lot to ask for. Mainly this gun would just be used as an explosive sniper rifle, being able to damage with an area of effect any enemies nearby when you get a precision shot, or just a shot in general. There will be some niche uses for it on PvP, but its main home I can definitely see being in PvE. Getting 5 shots in a row on thralls is a little easier, and it'll be precision shots, not precision kills, so you can actually kind of pump this up. Like if you're damaging a boss, you can pump this thing up and get to the point where it's doing a ton of explosive damage, and then, you know, hit the boss 5 times and then move to the adds that are charging you, and then get a well-placed shot on an acolyte and do massive explosion damage to all the other acolytes, and then go back to the boss. That would be a really awesome PvE moment that this gun would be able to make happen. Plus, we bloody well need an explosive sniper rifle in Destiny. Next, we're going over an exotic auto rifle called the Cat Co Pian Manifesto. Now, this thing, I'm just going to go right to the exotic perk. This thing actually is kind of just going to be like your normal everyday auto rifle, except for the fact that the exotic perk would make it have essentially unlimited ammo. This thing would reload itself. It would get its ammo directly from your reserve ammo, so you'll never have to reload. Now, obviously that sounds pretty overpowered. There is a catch, don't worry. The thing about this weapon is that as you shoot it, it actually gets more and more inaccurate. Basically, if you kept shooting this weapon, once you get to like, 40, 50 rounds, this thing is going to be shooting just sideways. Like, you are not going to be able to hit absolutely anything. So it's going to be a really interesting give and take with this weapon. On the one hand, you're going to be able to, in close quarters, like spray someone down. But on the other hand, if you get too greedy, if you try to go shoot for too long, you're going to start missing, and then the other player is going to have an absolute advantage over you. I think it would be an extremely interesting play dynamic with this weapon, like really kind of testing the skill of the player, really making you have to think before going into engagements, thinking about has enough time passed before your gun to grow back to being accurate, because once you shoot this gun and it grows inaccurate, you're going to have to wait slowly as it gets more accurate again down to its original base level. And this, I think, would have implications in both PvP and PvE. Obviously, in PvP, the ability to have technically unlimited ammo is something that, could be exploited and would be an awesome addition. In PvE, the accuracy doesn't matter as much, so you're going to get right in everyone's face just spraying like crazy. The more I think about it, I would actually love to see this gun in the game. Now, the next exotic concept we're going over is an exotic hand cannon called the Envy. Now, this I wanted to bring to you guys because it's just so unique. Like, this idea for the exotic perk is so far out there, it could just totally fit into the game. I can see it being balanced and fitting into the game and being an awesome exotic to use. I can also see it being completely overpowered. I just don't know how this would turn out, but, this is a concepts video, so why not? So the exotic perk for this weapon would also be called Envy, and what this would do is it would steal other players' ammunition when you get a headshot. So if you get a headshot on an enemy, it would take one round out of their magazine and put it into your magazine. Now, if they're using an auto rifle and you're using this, it doesn't matter as much. However, obviously being able to get 3 precision shots in a row and basically get 3 more rounds into your magazine is awesome. It's actually going to be very similar to the Hunter exclusive hand cannon, the Ace of Spades, where if you keep getting precision shots, it's going to basically keep reloading itself. But again, the interesting part is that you will actually take that ammo from their magazine. They're going to have one less shot in their magazine. So if they're using another hand cannon, if they're using a Thorn, for example, no one uses the Thorn, but let's just say, hypothetically, you're facing a Thorn user on the Crucible, and you hit them, 1 or 2 or 3 times, suddenly they're 3 rounds less in their magazine, and suddenly they're reloading as you're still shooting them, and that would be an absolutely awesome experience in the game. Nothing would make me happier than seeing a Thorn user reloading, just caught in the middle of the reload when they thought they would kill me, but now they're reloading and I get to absolutely go to town on them. Again, nothing would make me happier in this game. In PvE, having a weapon that kind of can reload its own magazine is obviously pretty useful. The Ace of Spades does see a decent amount of gameplay in PvE, but I don't see this being, it's that incredibly overpowered or used. I just think this would be a really fun addition to the game, something just totally different. Now guys, I've saved the craziest for last, but you know what? People said it was crazy to add melee weapons into the game, and they did. So without further ado, here is the Ruby Dragon Exotic Crossbow. Now this thing, the more I think about it, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, this is so far out there, but you know what? This could be an awesome addition into Destiny. Having a crossbow, shooting a projectile that has that travel distance, that actually has to get to the enemy, you could probably, depending on the travel distance, make this a one-hit kill in PvP. And that sounds pretty insane, but again, you're shooting an arcing projectile that someone can just move out of the way of. If that is overpowered and it turns out to be overpowered, then you can just simply make it a one-shot headshot like a sniper rifle. Now the downside would clearly be reloading. You'd actually have to, cock back the string, insert a bolt, and shoot it. So reloading would be an absolute pain in the ass for this gun. However, it would also have the effect that its projectile would create an area of effect damage. It's not just a crossbow. If we're introducing a crossbow, we're introducing a flaming crossbow. So if you hit an enemy, or even if you hit the ground, the projectile is going to stay there and cause a small damaging area of effect. So if you miss an enemy, but they're not paying attention and it lands right on their feet, and they are going to start to get some of that damage. And if they're hurt, they might actually die from the area of effect damage. Or if you hit an enemy and you kill an enemy, their body will light on flames, and then anyone who goes over their body is going to take a little bit of area of effect damage as well. And in PvE, the ability to make area of effect damaging projectiles is actually pretty useful. You could, shoot an enemy as all the enemies are pouring out of a spawn point and just damage like 10 enemies at a time. It could be quite useful. But frankly, I don't even know if this would be a heavy or a special. All I know is that damn if a crossbow wouldn't be awesome in Destiny. Now that's it for the exotic concepts we're covering in this video, but I just want to say that although this is, mainly just some Destiny fans talking about some awesome potential additions to Destiny, this should be taken a little bit more seriously than that. Bungie has finally announced some more PvE content coming to Destiny, and it's said that there's going to be new gear. But I can tell you, if that new gear is just the same old stuff with higher light or reskins again, it's not going to be enough to bring a lot of the loyal Destiny fans back to playing the game religiously. What is going to be enough is new exotics. New exotics with unique abilities, like some of the stuff we went over today, really can add a differentiation into the game. Playing a level with an exotic and then playing that same level with a different exotic can be two totally different experiences because the exotics are so unique. This is the stuff we should really be pushing for Bungie to add into its future DLCs. If not these exact ideas, then stuff like it. So if you agree with that and you want to see more exotics added to Destiny, please remember to rate and share this video. Now if you want to see more Destiny content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. And again, remember to check out Benjamin Radiman's art station. It's linked in the description down below. Now if you want to get in touch with me, the best way by far is to follow me on Twitter. That's linked in the description down below as well, as is my Twitch channel, which you can follow as well. Now again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.